We've all heard it before. Black don't crack. But what it can do is look ashy and dull and just as horrible and wretched. But not with Go Beautiful. Shop today. GoBeautiful.com. That's Go Beautiful with 2 L's.com with luxurious vegan skincare. No sulfates, no parabens, no carcinogens, and eco-friendly. Get beautiful, honey.
Thank you for tuning in to Betsy's Building Brands podcast. If you're interested in being a guest or having your business advertised on our podcast, please send an email to podcastmanager@bestiesinbiz.com. After the show, don't forget to head over to Facebook and Instagram to subscribe to our page, Besties Building Brands.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of Besties Building Brands podcast. Today we have a very special guest. We have Candance Joseph. She is the business guru. We met on Facebook through our Besties Building Brands group. And she's just an awesome individual. I watched her podcast. I was actually a guest on her show. It was an awesome time. And I just love the work that she's doing and how she helps entrepreneurs grow their business and help them get clear on their vision. So we had to get her on the show so we could pick her brain and talk to her. So welcome to the show, Candance.
Thank you. I am glad to be here. You were, when you were on the Business House Broke Hour, you were one of my best guests last year. And I definitely thank you for that. And thank you for everything that you guys do as well, because you guys are dynamite.
We're trying. So we have myself, Alter Ego. We have Crystal, the connector, and we have Rajay, Miss Complicated. So we're going to get started with our little icebreaker game. It's our this or that game. So I'll ask the questions. You just have to blurt out the answer. You can't think about it. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. All right. So Ariel or Jasmine?
Jasmine.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
New clothes or new phone?
New clothes.
New phone.
Money or free time?
Money.
Free time.
Netflix or Hulu?
Netflix.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
Facebook.
iPhone or Android?
Android.
Royd.
I'm an iPhone girl too. Would you rather be the passenger or driver?
Driver.
Would you rather do laundry or dishes?
Dishes.
Laundry.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Hi.
Invisibility or super strength?
Invisibility.
And the Cosby Show or Different World?
Different world.
Different world, yeah.
All right. This is the last question. And this determines if we end the show right now or not. Fresh Prince or Martin?
Martin.
I'm sorry.
Okay, perfect. Good. Rajay, what you say?
I want to keep the show going.
You know, if you say Fresh Prince, you literally will be the first person that's ever said Fresh Prince out of all. How many episodes?
Really?
Like 27 episodes? Yes, you'll be
Let's make a mark because I am Fresh Prince all the way.
That's too funny. Well, there's nothing wrong with change. All right, so let's just get into it, Candance. I would like for you to just introduce yourself and your business and just tell us your mission.
Okay. I'm Candance Joseph, the Chief Executive Officer of the Joseph Consulting Firm. I work with a dynamic group of 18 entrepreneurs that help entrepreneurs build their brand from start to finish. Our overall goal is your idea, our way, but it's definitely your success. So that's what we're all about. I'm also the radio host of the Business House Broke Hour on High Volume Music Radio, where I highlight the hidden jewels in entrepreneurship. Because you know what? In order to find great people, you got to know where they're at. So that's about me. What about you?
Awesome. Well, they know about us. We are Besties Building Brands, and we're out here with the goal of teaching group economics. Part of the reason of our podcast is to get entrepreneurs, have their business highlighted on different platforms, get them in front of different audiences. That's just one small part of what we do. So tell us a little bit about growing up. Did you always have aspirations of, being the business guru, or did you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, like, most kids?
I think for me, when I was growing up, it switched. I wanted to be a doctor at first because I was one of those kids I was born a preemie, 1 pound, 13 ounces. So I always wanted to figure out what was wrong with me and why I couldn't go outside and play like other kids, right? So I think that was that. Once I got towards middle school, high school, I wanted to be an engineer because I thought that architecture and building structure was interesting, right? But when you're growing up and you see everybody in your family, they work a government job and they have a side hustle. So it's kind of like, okay, well, how can we leave the 9 to 5 and just work on the side hustle full time? Because it seems like that was the more enjoyable part of everybody's life. So for me, it just kind of went through waves. And I think as becoming an entrepreneur, I really just wanted to help people. So that's what I decided to do.
That's what I went to school for, engineering. I didn't finish. I was actually talking about going back. That's funny that you said that. Like, I still think about maybe going back. I don't know. My brain just doesn't work the same. I don't know. We'll see. So you said your family, they all had, like, you saw side hustles and, okay. So you saw a little bit of entrepreneurship growing up. That was cool. Do you have any siblings? What are they doing?
I do have siblings. I do. I have a sister that is the same age as me. Her name is Denisa, and she is a medical assistant. She's like a great medical assistant, right? Mm-hmm. And she also does like CPR training and swim classes for kids and adults. So that's what she does. I have a sister, Courtney. She is a tech guru, and she works for one of the universities in the state of Georgia. And I have a brother, Gregory. He is my chief technical officer for the Joseph Consulting Firm. He is also the CEO of his own brand, Creative Culture Entertainment Group, as well.
Oh, that's awesome. You got your brother on the payroll. Yes.
He loves me. He loves me. I think that's why he do it, because he loves me, and I let him be free. Sometimes people, they work a 9 to 5 and it's not really for them, So for me, it was like, well, let me create something that I know he's interested in. And he's a tech guru, just like my sister, My sister Courtney, she does tech stuff. She does websites. She does cosplay. Like, if you want to see a cosplay person, she is it. This year during COVID, she was crushed that she could not go to any conventions and dress up. But yeah, we're just a family of creatives and nerds. I think that's just the way it boils down to.
Okay. And so you do have a platform where you interview guests. If you could interview anyone, alive or dead, famous or not, that you haven't, who would it be?
Michelle Obama. I think Michelle Obama would be the living. And if I was to think about someone deceased, it would be Billie Holiday.
Oh, wow. Why Billie Holiday?
Yeah.
I think that she was a misunderstood soul. Everybody sees the trouble side, but I look at the subtle activism side of her. And I think that what she tried to do and accomplish in music was great, even at a time where it wasn't popular. So, but she's the woman that stood by her grounds, regardless if she was troubled. And she's one of those people that I look at and say, okay, dang, what would have happened in their life if they would have completely healed?
Right.
Yeah.
That's deep. So what resources have you used to help you along the way? Any that you can share them, some aspiring entrepreneurs listening could use to help them get started and get moving in their business?
Take every free class you see.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter who's holding it. It doesn't matter if it's an SBA. It doesn't matter if it's your neighborhood, a community center. It doesn't matter if it's your local library. It doesn't matter if it's another entrepreneur that's trying to sell you on their free masterclass. Take those 5 days free, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And read. Read. I tell people all the time, you have to study your craft. And it comes from more than just video clips and, movies. A lot of times people don't realize that there are a lot of business lessons in movies, but you got to take it to the books. Read the financial news, read the Wall Street Journal, read the Forbes, read those things, because people they're using that as ammunition of how to fight us, because they know we're not going to read. So read.
We just talked about that yesterday.
I said that yesterday. That's what I said yesterday. Reading. I read the small print before I read the big print, and I read everything.
Yep.
Because we were talking about the fact that all the information is there. This is the information age. Anything you want to know, you don't even really have to pay for anything. Honestly, you can, if you take 4 or 5 hours a day and just comb the internet, you can find anything that you need to know about anything. But people don't do it. They don't do it. They don't implement the things that they learn. You've had people who've taken free classes and have free ebooks, supply ebooks, and they haven't actually implemented anything. And they're still stuck with everything at their fingertips, like literally everything. Yeah. Anything that you can pay for in a $5,000 masterclass is on Google right now. I'm pretty sure you can find. There's nothing that's hidden from anybody, so we just have to take the time to look for the information and then actually implement it. That's part of the problem too. You have people taking.
And the thing about it is, you can share the knowledge too.
Mm-hmm.
So many people learn things and hoard them.
Yeah.
That's why I decided to do the radio show. That's why I decided last year in 2020 that I was going to give away all services and coaching classes. I did it because it didn't make sense to hoard the information when right now we're in a situation of struggle and unsurety. So let me help you be sure about business so you don't have to guess anything else.
And it's so refreshing when we come across people like you, because the way we are, me, Crystal, Rajay, and my cousin Naima, who's actually a part of the business too. She's just going through some things right now. It's hard to find people that think like that. So sometimes we get discouraged and frustrated, like, nope, they don't get it. We're trying to tell them this is the way you should do it. We need to work together, and they just won't do it. So it's so refreshing to find somebody, that understands and, is on the same wavelength as us. So that's really awesome. Did anybody else have any questions before I go to my next set of questions?
I just have a quick question about your business. I know you said you were doing other things. Where was your aha moment where you're like, I need to start this consulting firm? This is my path that I need to take.
It's, me doing what I do. I've always wrote business plans for people. I've always done websites. I've been doing that stuff since college. So for me, it was more so of, okay, I'm getting a lot of calls. I'm getting a lot of late nights. So why not just do this and do it with knowledge and do it out of love? So I think for me, back in maybe 2016, probably before my car wreck, was my big aha moment. Like, you can do this. You can do this for money. You don't have to just do this for your trip money. I used to call it my travel. I build a website. That's travel fun. Or hey, I could go out and buy that steak dinner for myself, So for me, it was like, why not do this? I'm getting so many calls, so many people asking for help. Why not? Why not do it?
That's a shirt. Why not?
Yeah. How do you feel about
the thing about it is, okay, so I looked at it like this. At the end of the day, I could just go get a job. I'm degreed. I'm certified. Yeah. If it doesn't work out, at least I know I have the skill set to do it. And then along my journey, I took jobs where the skills were stackable, that were stackable to the next level, kind of put myself in CEO training. I think that's what I call it. So why not? The only thing you can do is go get another job.
Yep. How do you feel about pricing your services? Crystal was doing a little bit of teaching about that yesterday, how we aren't, charging enough. We aren't charging what we're worth. And just as women, we're afraid to ask for the money. We're afraid to charge what we should be charging to make a profit. We're always lowballing. What are your thoughts on that, and any tips or suggestions you can give on that?
Pricing, right? That's something that me and my firm kind of go back and forth on in regards to pricing. I believe in doing a fair job, doing an excellent job for a fair price. And my whole thing is, if our whole mission as a company culture here at the Joseph Consulting Firm is to get people in business, why price gouge? Why charge someone thousands of dollars when you can charge them a few hundred, but they could tell 5 of their friends about the greatness that you did? I think for me, pricing, it depends on your skill level. It depends on the hours that you spend, because you definitely got to take account into the hours that you spend. But am I going to overcharge people based on the fact that, okay, for the past 20 years, I've been trying to make a profit in business, and now I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I could charge you thousands? Is it fair? Is it right? Is it ethical? So I think those things take into consideration. But yes, look at the time that it takes you to do that. Do you have to buy extra material, extra software? Do you have to outsource parts of the job to get it done? I think all of that, all of that goes into your pricing. But at the end of the day, if my job is to get someone in business, how can I price gouge them? People talk about the whole Wall Street movement, but how can I go into a Black Wall Street movement when I'm looking at one client as the person that's going to pay all my bills for the month? No, not at all.
And how we gonna go into Black Wall Street if you only show up when it's time for somebody to buy from you? You have to show up when other people need you as well. Like right now, everybody has $1,400. I talked about this on your show. Everybody has $1,400 at least, minimum. If everybody, and just in our group, for example, decided to buy one item from everybody in the group, and we just went around like that every month, the money is circulating within our community. That's the only way to build Black Wall Street. Not you take your $1,400 and then you go buy the Gucci shoes that you want. That money's not coming back to us in any kind of way. And even if you start a business, if you're not supporting other businesses, the money's still not coming back. So the point of the stimulus check is to stimulate the economy. They want you to buy. But whose economy are you stimulating? Are you still trying to stimulate within your community or not? If not, then it's pointless. And it's so frustrating. Like that's where my whole mission is right there. I want people to understand that if you just buy from your friends without them having to provide value and jump through hoops and give you a lead magnet and give you a free class and give you a free shirt, and if they don't have to do all of that, just the fact that you know them and they have a business, if you just buy, if we just do that just for a year, if we focus on that, we will be so much further. The wealth gap is getting larger, and it's because of that. I made a post yesterday, and my cousin, who I love dearly, is like, that's like extortion. Your friend shouldn't have to buy from you. It's my friend's job to, provide value. No, it's not. No, it's not. That's so unfair to me.
But that's
can I have a message to your friend? Can I send your friend a message?
Yes.
If we break free of our oppressive thoughts and oppressive history, an oppressive mindset, then we wouldn't see the fact that buying from our friends is such a task or obligation. It starts with the mindset.
I don't think that's spoken enough. Like for me, I wasn't with the oppressive mindset, but I even though I was out of it, I still didn't know. I was still ignorant to the fact that there's other things I need to know besides shifting out of that mindset. And that's I believe is that disconnect. Like, we got to find those people, but like Khadija, she's speaking loud. She's telling y'all this is where exactly what needs to be done. She's giving you your step by step, but for some reason they don't want to hear it. And that I wanted to hear it. And I found it, and it's like, I'm trying to give that to y'all. Like, here's y'all speaker y'all have been looking for. Here's your person. Here's she. She looks just like you. She don't, like, everyone's like, oh, I look up to Beyonce. Beyonce and Rihanna don't look like you. They don't. She does.
This
She
is
looks
the
like
thing.
you. Crystal looks like you.
But one person can't be the only person carrying the torch. Just think about it. If every entrepreneur spent 20 minutes talking about the mindset and the freedom of mindset, then we have to be okay with that. And another thing that people have to kind of get over with when they talk about, oh, if our friends buy from us, then, you know, it'll trickle down effect. I'm going to be honest with you. There are billions of people in this world who are strangers to you. Instead of trying to figure out the support of family and friends all the time, it's a whole globe full of people that who will support you, who will back you, and not only be a one-time buy. So I started out with I operate locally, yes, but my mindset is always global. Some of my first customers were not located in Houston, Texas. When I started giving away free services, the people in Houston, Texas, right here in my hometown, didn't even jump on board to get those services. I got people from New York, Australia, Canada, Brazil, Japan that jumped on it first. So am I going to worry about the local? I always want to have a local impact. But as entrepreneurs, we're here to solve a problem, and we have a global problem, not just a local problem. Right. So for me, my mindset is to free the oppression of entrepreneurship. And let's be real, some people got entrepreneurship twisted. What it means to be a business owner, what it means to be a boss, and what it means to be a CEO. They have it twisted in a game. Mm-hmm. Okay, you made a shirt that you bought from a Chinese manufacturer with ink that you got from India, but don't tell me that it's Black owned.
Absolutely.
You know what, Candance?
You preaching.
Right.
You might have to say that again and slow it down a little bit for the ones that didn't
that goes back to people not reading. That goes back to people not reading. I tell everyone, read your label. Look around your house and tell me what you have in your house that was made in the USA besides being bought in the USA. Okay? You want to be you want your manufacturers to be here in the US. Really, we don't even have the resources for that. Because they resource everything out. You better check your history, and not even check your history, check your presidents and who you voted for and all the trade deals. Okay, why is it over there? Don't get mad because China is number one in import, export, and manufacturing. They ain't got all they did was form their relationship, and that's what we want you to do in business: form your relationship, not just with your friend, but with other people. And outside, China didn't stay in China.
Thank you. And this is the thing, right? I'm a person, every store I go into, and every time I talk about business, people get upset with me because I talk about Walmart, right? But what people don't realize is that Walmart started out, and it still is, a distribution for small businesses. So why do we knock our brothers and sisters that get a product into places like Walmart, places like Target, places, you know what I mean? Why do we knock them for that when really the places like that are distribution centers for small business? Have anybody ever thought, all of the, brown and Black entrepreneurs, what if we got together and formed our own Walmart? You guys keep talking about Wall Street, but Walmart is global.
I've been trying to form a mall. Candance, you already know, okay? You have to keep searching to find the right people, because then the other thing is the type of service that you provide. We tried to go around where we highlighted certain entrepreneurs once a month. Everybody was going to focus all their efforts into this particular business to get their business to grow and make money. But we ran into two problems. One, we were the only ones supporting. The other businesses didn't really want to support, I guess, because they were worried about their own business making sales. And then the other problem was the business that we were highlighting, they weren't providing excellent service. So, the few people that we did get to buy, either you didn't have what they wanted to order, your order was late, your customer service wasn't there. We had one girl just stop, filling orders in the middle of the day. Like it was crazy. So the training is important to make sure that before you become a part of this coalition or whatever we're trying to form, that you are providing excellent service, because people are messaging us, hey, whatever happened to such and such? Or I'm trying to order a shirt and her website is down. Or I tried to, contact her customer service because I didn't get my order and she didn't get back to me. So, we're just behind the 8 ball in so many different ways. Not only not understanding entrepreneurship, we don't understand customer service. We don't understand pricing out our services. So even if we could find people that say, hey, let's create something like a Walmart. Let's create like a global business where we can highlight each other's businesses, which is something that I've been trying to form. I had about 4 people who were interested. And then even those 4 people, why is it taking you so long to send me your logo? Why is it taking you so long to send me your pricing, your bundles? Like, it's just so much that we have to learn. I'm up for the challenge, but it's frustrating because you see other people who hit the ground running because they've been brought up and it's ingrained in them, how to do this.
Well,
one of the things I tell people all the time when they ask me about opening a business or starting a business, my number one question I ask them is, how hard do you want to work?
That's fair. That's a fair question. But this is the thing, okay?
Because I feel like I feel like when people say, hey, I want to start a business, they're already working a 9 to 5, the traditional job, and they want to start a business. They're so used to, and they've done some things, but they're so used to hustling. Hustling is quick and fast. Yeah, you want this lip gloss? They put it in the box or put it in the bag. Here you go, girl. However, when you want to start a business, how hard are you willing to work? Because that here you go, girl, when you're getting 50 orders, it's no longer, quick and fast. Now you're processing orders. You're at the post office mailing orders. You're giving them the invoice. You're contacting them through email or however your contact is. And you are working your budget, because when you're hustling, that's quick money, $20 in, $20 out. But then you have this influx of money coming in, how hard do you want to work? And that's what always get them, and that's what always have them thinking critically about their business and where they want it to go before we even take the next step forward as far as expanding. Another thing that businesses don't know that I've worked with, that I see and reached out to, they do not understand collaboration. You got to collaborate in order to elevate. You can think about all the ones you look up to. Cardi, Beyonce collaborated with Adidas. That ain't but now everyone sees Adidas as Beyonce's line. Cardi collaborated with Pepsi, with Reebok. When you think Jordan with Nike, they collaborated to elevate. And when I'm I'm asking you, okay, you sell clothes and she sells shoes. Y'all should collaborate together. You doing makeup? She has a clothing line and shoes. Do a photo shoot. Do a fashion show. She's using your makeup on her models, wearing her clothes, wearing your shoes. That is collaboration. But they see it as competition. Oh, she's gonna take my customers. Really? Are you serious? Because like you said, Candance, there are billions of people in the world. If someone contacted Go Beautiful today, if all these billions of people contacted Go Beautiful today for a skincare product, I guarantee you, I couldn't do it. And I wouldn't, but I would reach out to all my other my skin friends. Girl, I have 1 billion customers. Let's reach out to them. I'm gonna divvy up the list or whatever. They don't do it.
But once again, that comes from the lack of freedom in mindset. Let's think about it. Okay, so I'm gonna rewind back to tape on what you guys said, right? Okay, so Alter Ego said, okay, we're talking about people not wanting to help one another. No, it's not about the help. It's about the ego behind it. It's about the ego behind it. And the fact that a lot of entrepreneurs do not like to admit that they don't know something. And then once again, the reason why people can't get their products is because they're not reading the Wall Street Journal. Well, it's telling you that certain companies are not they're not exporting to the USA. And these are where you get your bundles. This is where you get your lashes. This is where you get your ink, your garments. So
Right.
instead of that, and then you have a lack of communication because, like you said, you hustle. So when you hustle somebody, you get your hustle on and you in and you out. You don't go back and communicate. Oh, well, how was the product? Did you like the service? No, you in and you out. So for there's that lack of communication among entrepreneurs to their customer base. And let's be real, a lot of people that decide to become entrepreneurs have never worked in the field in which they decide to become a business owner in.
That's true too.
Yep.
Very true.
Think about how many people own a restaurant, but they still using Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce when they give you your ribs.
Applebee's. Oh, that's how I sorry.
That part. You know what I mean? So it's like, my thing is this: if I want to open up a restaurant, I'm going to do my business. I'm going to work in a restaurant, even on a part-time basis, for 6 to 9 months to understand the front of the house and the back of the house. Somebody you're hiring, okay, just because they used to be the greeter at Walmart, don't mean they need to be the front of the house of your restaurant. And what you was saying, Crystal, about collaboration is real, but people don't think of it that way. A lot of people try to do that whole, okay, well, if you bring a business to me, then you give me a referral fee of $25. Let me tell you something. With my team of 18 entrepreneurs, I don't believe in a referral system. If somebody need an app, my book is full. You can build an app. This is your client. This is what the contract is. This is how much you get paid. I didn't ask for a dime. That's collaboration. Collaboration is giving something to an entrepreneur that needed. They need a website. They need flyers. They struggling to pay their phone bill in order to even take orders. So why would I charge them? That's collaboration. So trust me, I traded off some lawn care services for a website. Okay, I don't mind. I know what the true barter system is.
We tried to do that in the group because I asked them what they needed.
I remember that.
Yeah, what does everybody need? Because clearly you guys don't want to spend money with each other. So fine. Okay. So maybe, somebody said they need like a GoPro camera, and then somebody said, hey, I have one. It's new. I haven't opened it. And, that kind of worked. But then some, it just didn't work. So, I believe that it can work. I believe that it will work. I just believe that we have to keep having these conversations. We have to keep, talking until we find the people that understand, or the people that are willing to learn, the people that are willing. Like if you tell somebody, hey, read this or check out this book or watch this training, that, more people will come around. Because mindset, I think, you can always change your mindset. You can always learn more. You can always change your way of thinking. But if you don't even know that your mindset is not correct, or you're not thinking along the right path, you don't even know that you need to change the way you think. You don't know that if you don't have mentors or people to tell you that, you think that this is how I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to hustle. I'm supposed to work from the time I wake up till, 1 o'clock in the morning every day. You don't know. So you have to keep having these conversations and keep introducing people to different things and different ways of thinking in order for them to even know that they can do something different. Somebody said on yesterday's show, they didn't know that if they got denied at a bank for a loan, that they could go back and ask them why. They just didn't know. So we just don't know,
But we have to give the knowledge too. And the thing about it is that when we talk about group economics, we have to make sure that we give people the real of the reason why group economics was important. A lot of times people will form groups and say that they're about group economics, but it's always that quid pro quo kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's like we have to give the real knowledge behind group economics. We have to talk about the real reasons why Black Wall Street was what it was and why it was destroyed. But we have to sit there and think about how people really got together and they educated each other. They informed each other. It wasn't a thing where, okay, if you in my group and you don't participate, then I'm going to let you go. The thing about it is, at the time, maybe they felt like they didn't know the worthiness of who they were as entrepreneurs, the worthiness in what they can offer somebody. And, they didn't know. Sometimes I've run across people like that. They don't know that they are worthy of things and that they really can help people. And sometimes people don't know how they can help. Let's be real. Some entrepreneurs, you can ask them what they need, but until you actually have a conversation with them about what their business mission is, how's it going, what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, where are your struggles? Just to ask somebody like, okay, what do you need for your business? They like, man, I need a little bit of everything, but I can only ask for one thing. How does that work? How can I get ahead with just one thing? How can I really put myself out there? So am I going to hold my ego and say, oh no, I don't need anybody's help. I don't need any knowledge. I don't need any education. I don't need someone to give me that camera or give me those lights. I don't, are we going to really do that? Because a lot of times people are scared that you're going to ask for something back that they can't give you.
Well, that project, the initial worked well with what they asked for. People were meeting up with each other. On the backside of it didn't, because I don't know if people weren't receiving the products or whatever it was. The exchange never really, the hand-to-hand exchange didn't take place. But I like the dialogue that it created, because people were, actually talking. Because sometimes you make a post and nobody says anything, but that post had a lot of comments. So I like the fact. So it gives me hope that, okay, I'm on the right track. We're doing something good. Like, I'm not charging anybody to post in a group. I'm not charging anybody, like, literally. I want us all to win. Like, that's it. I feel like we all can do it together collectively. So to have people in a group like you, to have, accountants in the group. So when people, because like you said, some people are afraid. Like, some people are in my inbox and they won't post in the group. So some people will message me like, I love the group. I can't comment because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to ask for, or I don't know how to do X, Y, and Z. And I love to be able to say, well, here's an accountant that you can, call to assist you. So it's really a passion, and I'm just grateful that there are people who are seasoned and experienced like you, a couple of accountants. We even have some attorneys in there who you don't see post a lot. But when the people hit me up, I'm like, hey, here, contact this person. You know what I mean?
And keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Keep doing it. A lot of times people get so discouraged when they start programs like the one that you have, like everything that you're doing. You've been doing this for years. Let's be real. Me and you've been Facebook friends for years. You've been doing this for years. And the thing about it is you haven't stopped, and the momentum has grown and the group has evolved. You know what I mean? Yeah. So sometimes people, they get that discouragement right away. And it's like they stop, but you are someone that keep going and you keep building on it, and you keep bringing great people in that could be a part of the vision. So I thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need to get more people out there that do the same thing that you do, because the thing about it is that if one voice is doing it and multiple voices join in and we all are saying the same thing, it'll resonate with some people. But we have to be able to change mindsets in order to get more cooperation. That's what I've learned over the years.
Well, I want to, ideally we want to have different chapters where, people can do the same thing, connect people to other, the idea is to connect business owners with other business owners that can help them. So if I'm just starting out in business, but you've been in business for 20 years, and you've already done that. You've had a product-based business for 20 years. You were, just for example, Crystal's been doing skincare for years now. But we have a new person in the group, because that's why I asked the questions coming in, so I get an idea of what everybody is looking for. So if you're saying you're just starting out in skincare, I can watch as you post and what you say, and I can connect you to somebody who's doing it already. Because a lot of these gurus and coaches you see have never even done the things that they're teaching. Like, you're teaching people how to do something that you never did it before. You don't even have a skincare brand, but yet you charge somebody $2,500 for your skin. No.
Yeah.
No. So the idea, that was the idea behind our group economics mission, was essentially to connect business owners that can help each other. So whether you have the plug for a drop shipping plug and you have the plug for, business coaching, well, then maybe you guys could do a class on drop shipping and business coaching. I wanted them to teach the classes, and then you can get the money from the classes. But I'm still on the search to find good quality people. We found you. We have a couple of other people, so it's growing, and I'm not going to give up. Trust me.
Don't.
Like, we're going to have chapters. This thing is going to grow. So I wanted to ask you, do you have anybody that inspired you? Like, who do you look up to?
Oh, I have to say, my family and my parents were the foundation. They're like the driving force. I look up to members of my team because they push me to be better. They push me to get out and tell more people like, hey, you can work with other entrepreneurs and there not be any fighting. There not be any weird business meetings or shady underdealings. Because everybody in my company, they have their own brand. They have their own company. And we put it together. I look up to my business coaches, and yes, I am the business guru, but the business guru got business coaches. Yes, I do. I have strategists that help me. I have mentors that help me. I have people that I look up to that are world famous and some that are locally famous. So I look up to good people that are doing good things. And this is the thing, to be my client, you have to give to community. You have to. If you're not volunteering in the community, if you're not, participating in some kind of way to better the community that pays you, then you cannot be a client and you cannot be a member of my team. That's just what it is. If you're all about self, then you could be self and you could be me, find me, working with somebody else, but it will not be with me.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah. I adore that part. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Besties, we are a nonprofit. And I don't think a lot of people know that. But I started as a nonprofit for a reason, because I wanted to be able to give this information to the people that need it the most. And, we have a lot of community initiatives. COVID kind of threw us off. But we get ready to get back into the streets. Crystal is our nonprofit guru. She get ready to get us.
I look how you just throw these titles, and I'm just like, what?
Look, all the time. I'm like, people post in the group. I'm like, well, Crystal can help you. But
yeah, everybody.
But she can help though. Like, So one more question from me, and then we'll wrap up. If anybody else has any other questions they can ask. What is the best compliment you've ever received?
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Was it from anybody in particular? Like one client that you helped and it was really like a transformation? Or just every time somebody tells you thank you, you just feel?
No, I look at the best thank yous, because for me, I'm all about the thank you. I can be honest with you. I think that warms my heart. That gives me goosebumps. That gives me the excitement. I recently had one client, and she's one of those clients that I didn't charge, and I helped her. And she called me last night, and she was crying on the phone. She was like, "I just want to thank you." She's like, "I don't have any other words but thank you." And I said, well, that's enough. And she kept saying no. She said, "You're someone that believed in me, that pushed me to where, my brand is expanding. My reach is expanding. I'm reaching more people. You're putting me in front of cameras where people can understand what I'm about and what I'm trying to do for the world." And I tell her, well, that's who I am as a person. It has nothing to do with the business. It has nothing to do with the 5 brands I own. It has nothing to do with any of that. It has to do with the fact that at the end of the day, we're all human. And if we all push each other to get to our greatest heights, think about what the world will be. So to me, I find joy in the thank you, because I brought peace to an entrepreneur that was struggling. I brought peace to a nonprofit that was trying to grow and get grants. I brought peace to them. And that's what I'm about. We live in a chaotic world. When we decide to be entrepreneurs and step out on our own faith and our own abilities, our own knowledge, you want it to be a journey of peace. So I just believe in giving the peace. So the thank you is always the best compliment.
Wow. Any other questions, guys? Comments?
I don't have any questions, but comments on that last part. What you're saying is that peace and giving back. I feel like that's another thing we're missing. We're missing on don't go into business just for the money. Go into business for a change. Like, what is it around you that you want to change and do it? And I think we're missing that a lot with business because we see everyone popping up. Oh, let's do a new lash line. Let's do. They're just doing it because everyone else is doing it, and no one's putting that money aside and do it for a change. If we do it for a change, we do it together. We could be big. It could be something that continuously cycles through our whole community. This could be passed down to your daughters, granddaughters. Like, that's my mindset on business. Like, I'm in it so that my kids have something to pass down because that's what my parents wanted for me. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking from today's is exactly what you just said, giving something to the world, to my community. It'll live after you're gone. That's the best part.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that. I love you said that about that building that legacy thing. And I wanted to make a comment on that. Since you talked about generations, right? And passing something down to generations. I want to just say a quick comment about it. I don't want to start a quick debate because I know it's going to start a debate. But when people talk about canceling out generational curses, when entrepreneurs come through my door, and that's one of the first things they say, I asked them, have they forgiven those past generations? And they said, what do you mean? I said, I don't call it a curse. I call it people that did what they had to do with the knowledge, the self-love factor, and the support that they had at the time. So maybe it really wasn't a generational curse. Maybe they did their best. So don't ever think of the past generations' failed business ventures as something that you should weigh on your shoulders. Because the perfection is in the progress. It's not in the outdoing of a past generational curse. There is no curse. You can't get upset about someone that had the knowledge that they had at the time. They don't have the technology you have. They don't have the resources that you have. So we can't put that on our generation, on the last generation. I see a lot of business owners that say that, oh, well, my business didn't fail because I had a generational curse. No, your business failed because you failed to do the work. You failed to give that forgiveness in yourself. Forgive yourself for things that have worked out, for things that have been successful. You have to, or you'll never reach the breakthrough. So that's my thing when it comes to building a legacy. If you're going to build a legacy, build it upon that strength and that love. That we do what we do with the knowledge and the love that we have and the support that we have. But we have to be able to forgive those that don't support and still support them. We have to still encourage those that want to get in the mix of entrepreneurship, but don't know how. Let's just pull them up. Let's just reach back and pull them up. Yeah. And then that next generation can see a different change in mindset to where, look, let's be real. The millennials that's coming behind us are becoming fearless every day because they see the hoops that we go through. So why not continue a streak of fearlessness instead of worry about trying to cancel out a curse? That's the breakthrough. That's the legacy. That's the change in mindset. Has to
change of mindset.
Yeah.
That's what it goes back to.
Yeah.
I like
Crystal?
That. I don't want to start a debate, but and I really wasn't. You are speaking to Candance. You don't know. You are speaking to my heart, my lungs, my spirit, my soul, my fight, my gumption. I'm a pray for everyone that is listening and who was out there that they get this mindset. One of the things a person had said to me before, a couple of weeks ago when I was at an event, he said that you have to have a billionaire mindset to get your millions. You have to have that billionaire mindset, that billionaire work ethics to make your millions. And a lot of people was like, they raised their hand. I got it. That for me, I took that as I got to think big. I got to do big things because even those small steps equal to big accomplishments. Those small steps. And I was telling people, yesterday about grants, apply for the small grants. Some small grants add up to bigger grants.
Yes.
All the millions out there, you got octopuses with their hands in it. They want the millions. No one is looking at the little $100 grants, $500 grants. And I know these small steps that we're making in our business with Besties is going to create a big change. So I appreciate you. I thank you. I'm stalking you right now because I'm on my laptop. If you see me slide through.
That's why I said we gotta get Candance on here by herself. We usually invite 3 guests. Because people cancel, and then you never know when a person gets. I mean, you interview people, so you never know how the conversation will go. You get them on, and then they're not really talking. I was like, nope, this is going to be a special show. Just going to be Candance by herself. So we appreciate you for coming on, guys. Make sure you check her out at josephconsultingfirm.com. And before we go, Chris was going to talk about our fundraiser that we're doing. Because like I said, we are a nonprofit and we have a ton of community initiatives that we're trying to get back to now that the world is opening back up. So we need your support on our first big initiative. This is just one, but it's our biggest one and our most important one. So, Crystal.
Yes, idea. I talked about I'm going to talk about this until we get there, and I'm going to still talk about it. My son, he was also a preemie. Hey, Candance. He was 1 pound, 1 ounce. He is 7 years old. He also is autistic. He's nonverbal autistic. So when I thought about my son and what I want for him, I want him to have a good life. I want him to be able to support himself when I'm no longer here. So IDEA came about. IDEA stands for Intellectual Disability Employment / Education Agency, where we help young adults who are living with autism, who are living with the intellectual disability like Downs and slight MR, but are highly functional, to get gainful employment. Not the ones that are the greeters at the Walmart, but they can work in our community. So we want to partner with our community businesses and also the larger corporations to train our young adults and also to train others to get gainful employment. So you can donate to, click the link in our website, Besties Business, and donate. If you know someone who is on the same mission, we would love to collaborate with you. If you yourself can help, we would love your input, your insight. We would love young adults to contact us so we can build this thing. And I know it's coming. I know we're going to do it. And but we need your help. We need your help and your support. So you can tag the news network. You can tag the papers. You can tag your business and support IDEA.
Yep. Check us out at bestiesbusiness.org. There you'll find the PayPal link. You'll find a link to our membership programs. You'll find a link to our podcast. You'll be able to see our featured Bestie of the Week. We have a lot going on. So join the movement. Thank you again, Candance, for joining. Don't hang up. Give me 1 second. Thank you again, guys. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.